Welcome back to Sonic Adventure 2. So, I'm picking up where I left off before. Here's everything I cut out from the last episode because I thought the image of Shadow was a better place to end off than all of the things you unlock, but here's all the things you unlock. So, I'm going to start with the downer, by which I mean the final hazard. So, the game does say there's a time limit for this. And while there isn't a countdown, there is actually a real time limit. You do need to hurry up with this fight, or you will lose automatically. So, I'm gonna just kind of hover around here for a bit, and when I get low on rings, I'll be able to show off actually switching characters in the non-automatic way. Because of course you can just hit him if you want to switch, but if you basically just fly over the arc to the other side, you switch. Shadow, what have you been doing? Why don't you have any rings? Alright, so we'll cut to when stuff starts happening. There's actually a lot of dialogue that can play during this fight. There's of course Amy's warning that Final Hazard's getting close. That's where we ended. I managed to fight the boss and defeat him about halfway through the actual given time limit. I feel like I'm letting down Live and Learn. Yeah, I want to just show off some of the other dialogue you can get as well.
Shadow, your power's getting weak.
So, the game does actually kind of imply Shadow's imminent death, because a lot of it just goes into like, oh hey Shadow, you're looking kinda weak. Are you collecting enough rings? Do you feel okay? Do you feel like you're going to sort of lose control of your super form and fall to Earth and just burn up in the atmosphere? Just an absolutely horrifying death. Nobody ever says that about Sonic, though. Sonic's always fine. He's been in super form before. Okay, so around the 3-minute mark, you'll actually see that... Oh god, what's the word? Just the aura. It's not an aura, it's just, you know... Biolizard is starting to enter the atmosphere, so there's resistance. And you can see that. You can see Biolizard slowly entering the atmosphere. And also, eventually, the screen starts to tint red. God, if I were playing this game as a child, if it got to this point, this would be where I just hit the start button and restarted the fight. This would be too scary for me. Just... the oncoming doom. I'm sorry, Crush40. I'm failing you right now as we speak. Alright, so Shadow has decided to end all of the forum debates before they even begin. Shadow has declared that Sonic is the ultimate life form. Which, you know, is a pretty cool line to end on, but, I'm afraid I'm not here to win. I'm afraid I'm going to lose quite badly. Got 30 more seconds, Amy. It's fine. Oh, this is getting ever more ominous, though. God, I'm still getting slightly anxious about this, honestly.
There's no time left! Get out!
We'll just live on the Ark! I'm sorry about the Earth exploding! We'll just have to live in space now. Alright, so once we hit 5 minutes, it's over. Sonic just kind of gets lost in space. Alright, so here's the Sonic version of beating the stage. Sonic and Shadow have different win poses and lines. And with this, we'll be able to move on. And thank goodness, like I said, I wanted to get Final Hazard out of the way first, because I do not like time limits that sort of have game overs.
Did you really think you had a chance?
You tell him, Sonic. Alright, so next off, this game actually has recaps before stages and bosses. In most cases, the relevant character is the one who does the recap. However, before Canon's Core, Amy will actually be the character to recap the story. Because, of course, everybody else is busy, you know, going to the Canon's Core, so yeah, it's Amy instead. Believe me, I've seen just about every recap there is in this game. I never kept them, of course, because I just wanted to keep the flow of the game. But yeah, no, Amy is not the person who does the recap at any other point other than this. Even for the later stages of Last Story, it's not Amy. It's Shadow for BioLizard, and I think Sonic for Final Hazard, which would make sense. Alright, so here's the Chow Garden entry. So you just pick up a Chow key, don't get hit, and if you reach the end with the Chow key still in hand, you'll get access to the Chow Garden. B rank's not bad.
Piece of cake.
Oh, I love that sound. Hello, classic sound. Alright, so here's Chow World. I am not going to show off much of Chow Racing in the slightest, by which I mean I will show off absolutely none of it, because I'm not interested. If I do ever cover Chow stuff, I'll probably do it as a stream, but, like, I didn't even get that extensive with Adventure 1's Chow Garden. But, you know, here's the good Chow Garden. The garden for all the good little Chow. There is an evil Chow Garden, but I'm not gonna show this off here because it should have a stairway to it, but I only unlocked the Chow Garden with Sonic, which we'll see in a moment. That's a problem. If we actually were raising Chow, this would be useful, but... I'm sorry, Black Market. What are you doing in the school? You get out of there! I don't even want to see your wares. You take your weird dancing Sahagin and get out of there. I don't know who to report this to, because, like, I don't go here, and I don't have a kid that goes here either, but, like... I don't think the Black Market should be operating in school. Anyway, so we're gonna leave Chow Garden, and I'm just gonna show off here. If you go to Chow World on the map, it is only available to Sonic. You do actually have to beat the stage as a given character to be able to access it from the map. If I said otherwise earlier, which I think I did, that was a lie, sorry. Okay, so now I'm gonna start showing off the extra power-up abilities. There are a bunch of them that you can't get on your first run-through stages, though none of them are particularly necessary. That is true for the first upgrade I'll be showing, Magic Hands. Through a comedy of errors, I will pick up this ability, Magic Gloves. So this isn't particularly useful because it really slows down the pace of the stage, but now Sonic can trap enemies in a bubble and throw them at other enemies. And this feels like it's some kind of, like, scrapped ability or, like, debug thing, but there we go, that's the ability. So I'm gonna use Power Up Collection as an opportunity to kind of talk about miscellaneous things. First off, I said I was going to show my final run of Cannon's Core. I did of course show the Sonic portion of that, but the messier version of everybody else's would have been there as well. I'm an idiot and I deleted those files by accident, so unfortunately I can't, but also, this video is starting at an hour in length, so I'm not gonna be that broken up about it. To summarize my opinions on the sections, Tails actually went pretty smoothly for the most part. I got Tails down to maybe not a science, but I could do it quickly enough. Eggman, I also tried to do quickly, but it was a lot sloppier because if there's anything I don't like, if there's any one section I somehow dislike more than Knuckles' section, it's Eggman's. And that's because I get very impatient with Eggman's section. If I remember correctly, that was the run where I got some really cool moves, though, just like off of that moving block room. I got some real good jumps, and I'm actually sad that I'm missing out on showing those. The rest, though, I think Rouge was just normal. I might have taken a hit at some point, which would have made sense, because that section's kind of annoying. And I know that was also the run where I messed up the wind tube with Knuckles, so all you're really missing is me just sort of flailing about and showing off that, indeed, the timing of that section is very tight. So, next off, what do I want to mention next? Well, I would be remiss in not mentioning a certain thing about BioLizard. But first, I would like to mention, of course, you can check out Cutting Room Floor for a lot of stuff that was cut out from the game, but you can also check out the Sonic Adventure 2 Unused Content in Trivia video by Speed's Highway, which is just a very good compilation of various things from the game. One of the quote-unquote unused things are screams from the Japanese voice actors of Sonic and Shadow when they're hurled out into space. They did not make the cut into the game normally. However, I would be remiss in not mentioning that they are utilized as the voice of BioLizard. So, unfiltered BioLizard scream sounds like this.
Is it gone? Is that what Chaos Control is?
Yeah, I know Loka would complain if I didn't mention that one, so there you go, it's in the bonus episode. But yeah, unfiltered BioLizard scream makes me laugh because it's horrifying. So I mentioned Cannon's Core before, right, and Amy? Okay, so Amy strikes me as a character they had an idea in mind for like the end of the game. Like the scene where she convinces Shadow to, realize, hey, I've been wrong about thinking Maria wanted revenge for what happened to her. He's wrong about that all along. That's a very good scene, but Amy is meandering for most of the rest of the game, and that's, it just reeks of the writer had a good idea, but then they didn't really have any other ideas for Amy throughout the course of the game, especially since she's not playable. However, I want to mention here that there is an instance where she doesn't even get that moment. In Sonic X, here's a moment I remember, because I was not the biggest fan of Amy as a character even back then, but even I thought this was bullshit. That role of Amy in Sonic X is of course taken by Chris fucking Thorndike. Yep, they replace Amy with Chris in that scene, and it's less effective because it's Chris. I mean, okay, so I'm actually rewatching Sonic X and I haven't gotten that far, but I know it's less good because it's Chris. I'm not gonna say Sonic X is like a hidden gem or like a gem you don't remember or anything like that, and we should look back and think that Sonic X is actually an amazing show. It's okay, it's not great. It's a good way to see how far the 4Kids voice actors came, because if you compare their performances, before they were replaced, they were a lot better there than they were at the beginning of X. They were a little bit rough, but, growth happens. I don't mind it too much. It's just really weird hearing early Griffith Sonic. But yeah, I'm not gonna say it's the most amazing show, but it's fine. I'm enjoying myself watching it, but don't want to get into a tangent about Sonic X, but genuinely, Chris and his parents are the weakest part of the show, because I don't care about the rich boy who's not even really that lonely because of his parents' just unending success. They still manage to visit every once in a while, and he has such a big support group outside of his parents that, you cannot convince me that this boy is that lonely without his parents, and that he needs a blue hedgehog to solve all his problems. So, yeah, no, he's just nothing as a character. I don't care about his plight or his parents' plight and how they're the victims of just being too successful. I understand the writers just wanted an excuse for Sonic and pals to come to Earth, but not have to, figure out a housing or food situation, because that would kind of drag things down. But still, the characters some characters connected to it are just nothing. Chris's grandpa's a good character, though. That guy kicks ass. Just, first episode he's introduced, he's like, "Oh, your friend's trapped in a military base? Alright, I'll help you break her out. Why not? Here's some tech to help you. We'll make it a whole espionage thing." Anyway, though, yeah. So, okay, I believe this is the final upgrade, which actually looks pretty cool. I like Rouge's little scouter here. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing off all of the, well, not all of the extra missions. Okay, so like, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle added a lot of bonus stuff, but this is not one of the bonus things it added. If I remember correctly, Battle, of course, changed what the game looked like a little bit, but mostly it's just like a lot of multiplayer stuff and whatnot. All the stuff you'll be seeing is in the original Dreamcast version of the game, including the missions. So I basically tackled the missions in order of I don't want to play this to I would want to play this if it weren't the extra missions of Sonic Adventure 2. I'm giving you a sampling of the extra missions in this game. There is a reward for getting every emblem in the game, and A ranking every stage in the game. This is ludicrous, and the reward genuinely is not worth it, but I will show you what the missions look like in general. Other than that, though, yeah, no, the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is kind of weird. It didn't really add that much, but it is how a lot of people played the game. Apparently it also, like, removed Big the Cat cameos, but, I don't remember Big the Cat being here at all, so I'm not sure about the, validity of that sort of thing. Anyway, that's 100 rings in Tails' racing stage. What's Mission 3 look like? Mission 3 is don't hit other cars. Okay, so like, A ranking this mission is the real problem here. I am absolutely not going to be getting all A ranks, but like, I'll at least show this off. So, the key to not hitting any cars is simply go slow. Again, this won't get you an A rank, but like, you'll succeed at least. In general, the missions in the game do actually get a little bit samey. You can kind of figure out what to expect from each of them. The driving stages, of course, are a little different because of just the way they work in the first place, but all characters' first missions, of course, are the default missions, the ones you cover in the story, so that's why we started at Mission 2, because, Mission 1 is just find the President, or in this case, find Tails. The second racing mission is get 100 rings, this one is don't hit cars, and, again, Rouge's version is the harder one, but as long as you go slow, you should at least be able to finish this. Although, truth be told, if you're not going for an A rank, I don't know why you would cover mission mode, because I'm just going to get this out of the way while we're only 20 minutes into the video, but mission mode isn't that fun. Like, I don't know how you would derive joy from this, unless you're just a completionist, in which case you're gonna do all A ranks, and that's just... yeah, you're just boosting through this mission and playing normally, except you can't hit cars, which might seem fun. But, the racing missions are going to break you of that habit, trust me. Hitting cars and sending people to heaven, hell, or purgatory is just not as entertaining as it might seem. One day you will learn to hate that last straightaway, but today is not that day. However, there are 2 missions left, so, Mission 4! Don't hit the fucking walls! Alright, so, if you don't care about the A rank, once again my advice is, why are you even here? Don't play this. What are you doing? It's not worth it. Okay, but seriously though, advice is more or less the same. Just speed up on the straightaways so you don't lose out on time, but when you're on the corners, go slow. Okay, if you legitimately want an A rank though, and you don't want to slow down, the real way you do this is basically just learning how the hell turns work in the racing stages. which, honestly, still kind of confounds me even now. So basically, if Tails is heading straight, you kind of just want to lighten up on the acceleration button, at which point Tails will sort of, start drifting instead. He'll move more diagonal and skid around. That's how you do turns better, instead of just zooming straight forward and crashing into walls, which, I often do. And I think you go back to going straight in that same way by, letting go of acceleration for a moment. You'll sort of return. I think you automatically return to the sort of straight-ahead movement if you boost, but I'm not 100% sure on the former method. I have not mastered this clearly, but yeah, I at least know the difference between turns. As you might have been able to tell, this is not the mission that taught me how to play the racing stages a little more properly. Sonic, stop asking me if I found the president! You're so annoying. I hate it when my friends ask me if I found the president. Like, I would tell you if I found the president. I'm looking. So while we're here, I would also like to mention that, I definitely prefer Tails' version of the stage, because Rouge is just kind of hard mode. It's just a trickier track to deal with. Apologies to Rouge. I wanted to switch back and forth, I wanted to alternate, but I just didn't want to play the Don't Hit Walls version of Rouge's stage, so we're going to catch up with the President, we're going to see our rank, and then we're going to get ready for Hell for Mission 5. So, of course, Don't Hit Cars and Don't Hit Walls is unique to the racing stages. However, 5th mission is Hard Mode. This is the same across all mission types. Now, what's Hard Mode, you might ask? Well, it can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different stages. For the racing stages, it means a lot more cars, a lot less time, and checkpoints are worth less. So yeah, this one is, incredibly difficult, I would say. This took me a fair few tries to get correctly. I had to do the turning a little bit better, and again, while it might seem fun to kill people in a vehicular homicide, you will notice when you play the hard mode version of the racing stages just how much hitting cars slows you down. I'm gonna level with you, this isn't even one of my better runs. I feel like this one kinda sucked and I have no idea how this is the successful one, but it was the successful one, so I'm not going to complain. So yeah, I didn't want to do the Don't Hit Walls Rouge stage, and I definitely didn't want to do hard mode version of Rouge stage either. So yeah, sorry for breaking the alternation, but yeah, no, this one's hard enough, I didn't want to do more. Like I said, I'm going from my least favorite mission, or gameplay style to favorite. Which means, yes, I like the racing stages less than I like the treasure hunting stages. Buck wild, I know, but I also just wanted to get the Don't Hit the Walls version of the stage out of the way as well. Cause that one sucks. That one also sucks. I don't care that I got a D rank on it, I wasn't gonna try to do better. So yeah, like I said, this is how I finally figured out, the finer details of movement in the car, and also the fact that cars do slow you down. It's almost impossible to notice in the normal version of the stage. However, when you get to the end, you need like about 20 seconds left. I'm gonna say minimum 15 once you get to this straightaway. I don't think I'm alone in the category of people who have gotten to this straightaway and failed. Cause trust me, I did, repeatedly. Tails will get to the straightaway, and you'll still lose.
Oh no, I lost him!
And it's like, no you fucking didn't! No, you didn't lose the president. You can see him. You could shoot him if you wanted to. Secret Service isn't here. They can't save him. Alright, that's the missions. Cabda was my last set of ranks for Tails' racing stage. Alright, here we go. Treasure hunting stages. Collect 100 rings. So, collecting rings with the treasure hunters varies wildly depending on the stage. I should mention, of course, the fact that, like, technically speaking, you can dig through walls and floors to find extra rings, but you probably won't get an A rank like that unless you get really lucky with your finds, because it's just random what you get, so it is not a dependable strategy, but if you're slowly going mad due to not finding enough rings, it is technically an option. Thankfully, Wild Canyon is a very easy stage to get rings in. You should be able to find them all very quickly. Rouge's version, less so. Dry Lagoon is also kind of dry of treasure, as were all of the other treasure hunter stages I covered for the missions. Oh god, almost got shot. Very much a problem, very much a problem.
Yeah, this is perfect.
I think you mean this is happening. Alright, so, Mission 2... Mission 3. God, now I'm doing it. Alright, so, everybody's third mission is to find a lost Chow. Now, in order to do this, you need to pick up the Mystic Melody upgrades. I went through all the upgrades before. Yes, this is kind of the only reason you want to pick those up. And also the reason you can't really bother with the mission mode until you're done with the game, because the earliest Mystic Melody you can get are in the final levels for Sonic and Shadow. I guess to be fair, I could have gotten Mystic Melody with Rouge with the digging upgrade, but I didn't want to bother going back before I was actually done, so whatever. Anyway, pretty much all of the Lost Chow missions are, find the thing you can use Mystic Melody on, use it to find the Chow. The fourth mission for basically every character is a time limit mission, or for missions that already have time limits, what if you had less time? So, these vary wildly in difficulty. Some of them you get plenty of time on, and it's really not a big deal to have a time limit. Others, not so much. Others I did only manage to get by the skin of my teeth. Ugh, hate that phrase. Either way though, yeah, treasure hunter stages, of course, are kind of completely luck-based, because in most cases, the Master Emerald Shards or keys are randomized, so... or, I guess, Chaos Emeralds as well. But yeah, since they are random, there's a chance you could have a really easy time with the time limit, or it could just be an absolute nightmare. Who knows? For me, finding this last Emerald Shard was a pain in the butt. I will also, once again, apologize to Rouge, because once again, I wanted to alternate with different stages for each character. However, I looked at Rouge's stages and realized Dry Lagoon was the only one I could tolerate playing again. So, yeah. 2, 4, 5 are all gonna be Knuckles. Again, apologies to Rouge, but your stages are garbage. They did Rouge so dirty in the game with her best personal soundtrack. / only personal soundtrack. She never really gets, lounge jazz to herself ever again, which sucks because it should really just be a more common style in the Sonic series. It's a good music style, and I like the songs in it. Honestly, okay, so, special shout out to Fumi Kumatani for making basically all of my favorite songs in the game. Like, I thought my tastes were eclectic because my favorite songs in the game are pretty much Shadows and Rouge's. I mean, I also like Sonic's, but, you know, that's a lot of Junsenu and maybe a little Tomio Otani. So, that's not really a surprise, but, like, Shadow and Rouge are, like, my top in general. Just, like, broadly, if I were to choose 2 of my favorite, character overall soundtracks, those would be my two choices. And she was just in charge of both of them, for the most part. I think there are some exceptions, at least on Shadow's route. I hope I didn't misattribute any to Jun Senu, because, you know, I think a few of them were, but most of them were Fumi Kumatani. The really cool ones were hers. So yeah, she did it, like, all the music in this game is good, everyone did a good job, but like, she just did all my favorite music.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Okay, so hard mode treasure hunter stages. So good news, the emerald shards are in set locations. The bad news, the set locations fucking suck. So the first one is over there. Did you see it? I hope you did. Now how do you get to that, you might wonder? Well, it's a real pain in the butt. You can't just really go out from immediately over the area. You basically have to fly. Not quite like that, you gotta fly from the pillar, so... pretty much the treasure hunter hard mode stages are a puzzle of figuring out how the hell you're supposed to get the emerald shards in the first place, and by the time I was done with this stage, I actually kinda just wished it was a normal stage with more enemies. I just want normal emerald placements, though. I'm gonna skip around a lot, and you're gonna notice the time go way up. Also, one of the reasons you can figure out that the Steam port is not the best is, a lot of things wind up invisible. You may have noticed earlier when Rouge just sort of evaporated into the air, there is supposed to be a blue portal there, but there isn't, and it never appeared for me. And then, once we find this emerald, so we got the blue portal that doesn't appear, and then we have some invisible motherfucker who just hit me twice, and I did not care. My rule for these was, first no death run was the one I was gonna use, and yeah, no, here's me 12 fucking minutes into Pumpkin Hill, and yeah, the emerald shard is there, and maybe there's a better way to do this, but the way I found you had to do this is by springing up into the sky, gliding blindly towards the emerald, and hoping you have enough height to do that. I barely did.
Found him.
You might be wondering, why didn't I just do everything in Wild Canyon?
I have to try.
The answer is, I don't know. I wanted to show off various stages for the bonus episode, but I think that was more of a punishment on myself in the end. A die. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do after listening to Pumpkin Hill for 12 fucking minutes. I'm still gonna post True Art on co-host come October, but let me tell you, I'm a little tired of Pumpkin Hill for now. A Ghost's Pumpkin Soup can go rest until I'm ready for it. Well, I'll be happy to hear it again once I listen to Pimpin' in the Alley, but again, that's an October activity, not an August activity. Anyway, here's the 100 Rings mission for the Gunner stages. It works how you would think, though it also puts in perspective how few rings you get during these stages. Like, when I was playing these, I could have sworn that there were more rings in the regular missions, and that they took some rings away for the ring collecting mission, but no, I think this is just normal. So yeah, no, there's just not a lot of rings present, so these are actually pretty hard. Just like in general. Treasure hunter stages, it depends. And again, you can technically just dig through the ground or the walls to find more rings. That's luck-based, but you have something to fall back on. If you get hit in one of these missions, you just restart. There's no reason to keep going. You don't get a lot of rings. So yeah, we're just gonna skip most of this because it's just ring collecting. There's really not much to it. And it kind of just ended out of nowhere. I just got like 20 rings. Alright, so B rank. So, next off, of course, we have another Find Lost Chow mission. And boy, it feels like we keep getting missions that really show kind of the weaknesses of every system. Before, I would say it was the hard mode version of Treasure Hunter stages, because Pumpkin Hill, at least, was all about very precise and kind of blind jumps. You really have to keep locations in mind while gliding, because 2 of those Emerald Shards were just all about that. And that didn't work out super well. I only barely managed to get either one of those, and again, those were blind glides. Those don't feel great. Here, at least in this stage, the Lost Chow mission kind of has... It involves, like, some very simple platforming, but it's also, like, slightly too complex for the mech to easily do, which we'll see in a moment. Not quite. Okay, I think the room after this, though. It's the big pipe room. So, of course, mech stages do involve you doing some platforming. But they're not usually too precise, and the booster, it's really not so bad, but I did not like this platforming section over here. You sort of, right here, have to weave your way around onto these big platforms with no railings, play your little flutes, and then these platforms appear, and there's just something so uncomfortable about using these. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know what's so bad about platforming on these, but like, ugh, I don't like doing it. Anyway, though, yeah, other than that, it's just the usual thing. It is find the thing, find the chow, deal with a whole lot of gun robots. Ooh, we actually have 2 of these little pedestals. Alright, let's make more of these platforms, and fuck up completely. I also think I had one run kind of ruined by, like, getting stuck on the lip of a platform or something like that. It didn't go well. Also, for some reason, the chow's over there. This is, like, the most security the gun base fucking has at all in, like, this entire first stage. There's even a railing at the end, like, for crying out loud. They protected this chow more than they protected Shadow. As I keep saying, the whole goal of Gun is to just be the worst. It doesn't matter who you're playing as, either the heroes or the guys trying to take over the world. The military just sucks. And that's even true in the final chapter. I mean, come on, like, you get to Cannon's core, and it's like, okay, well, at this point, the only enemy type is probably just gonna be artificial chaoses, because, you know, that's the only thing left over that'd be made by Gerald Robotnik. But no, there's also gun robots. They're still trying to stop you. And, like, I'm pretty sure they knew that the colony was falling, considering everyone knew the colony was falling. And also, if I remember correctly, some of the cut conversations were actually, like, the president and his aide talking about the Ark's descent. So, like, they knew. So, like, Gun's still trying to stop you. But why, though? Like, unless this is a faction of Gun that was just, like, they were the ones who remained in the Ark all those years, you know, that they were left behind to secure the premises, but then over the years, all they had to talk to was the fucking artificial chaoses and the and Bio-Lizard, and then they just decided, you know what, fuck the Earth. Gerald Robotnik was right, this place sucks. Let's kill their asses. Oh yeah, and speaking of Bio-Lizard, I will say, I did come up with a whole, like, Bio-Lizard joke, you know, before doing it in writing, but I quickly realized there was absolutely no room for me to do those jokes, and also, like, talk about anything else at the same time, so the Bio-Lizard jokes became text only, unfortunately. I say unfortunate because I did want to shout, "Brother! How could you have betrayed me like this?" During that fight, but I really didn't have the time. Now that being said, I'm gonna be honest, I probably came up with better lines for Bio-Lizard since I was able to do it in writing, and not just doing it all on the spot. Anyway, here's Lost Colony hard mode. Here's some bullshit. Actually, to be fair, I almost had fun with this one. There are definitely some dick moves here and there, like this one. I hope you have really good depth perception, because apparently I don't. That laser hit me a bunch of times. However, if you avoid it and hit the balloon, you get a shield, which is going to be so very helpful. Okay, so the main reason I went to this stage for Eggman instead of his version of the desert stage, which would have technically been the next one I would have played in the story, is I wanted to see if there were artificial chaos in this one. Sadly, there were not. I don't know, maybe there's just like... Maybe it's just one of those cases where they can only take certain enemies to certain, like, level builds. And so this is, of course, a different version of the arc than the one we see, when we actually see artificial chaos. It's a different, just general, texture set or whatever. So, I don't know. I don't know how this game was built, so... I don't know if it was just an impossibility to put certain stage hazards where they wouldn't normally be. Because quite frankly, there was no way in hell that they were going to forget to put artificial chaos in, though. Like, it absolutely was someone's idea, right? Like, what if we just introduced artificial chaos in an earlier arc stage? Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't just shove artificial chaos into every level. I mean, that would sure as hell make every level hard. There should have been artificial chaos in the fucking driving levels. That would have definitely made those harder. You're just driving along and suddenly some fucker just pokes you from out of nowhere. I guess I should be thankful that there aren't artificial chaos, but in a way I am actually kind of disappointed. I did come here specifically for them, and I didn't get them. Oh well. Again, I actually did have fun with this version of the stage, other than a few sticking points. There were a few surprises that did kill me, but overall it wasn't too bad. Oh, and since I didn't show it on camera, the time limit stage, or the time attack version of the stage is really damn hard. I thought I did, like, a really good run of that one. I thought I was pretty fast, but, no. I was not. I made it with barely any time left. Like, less than 10 seconds, I think, so... I could probably get faster, but, that's just a good way of realizing, hey, time attack is not fucking around. You do not have extra time. You've got a little bit of leniency, but not enough to fuck about. If you fuck around, you will find out, without a doubt.
Yush!
Alright, and there's Gunner Hard mode. I mean, it's pretty hard, I will say that. Not too bad, though. And you know what? It annoyed me less than the Treasure Hunter stages did, so I'll accept it. Alright, so with the Gunner stages done, it's time for the Speed stages. Still got a C rank on the time attack, that just goes to show you. I really wasn't fast enough. Anyway, here's the third time you're seeing the city escape, but, I didn't want to ramp up the difficulty of Sonic stages too much, and I also wanted to show off Metal Harbor. So we're doing this stage. I mean, I could have shown off Metal Harbor no matter what. It's kind of arbitrary the way I'm doing things, it's not like I had to, but, just did it like this. Anyway, of course, the missions for speed stages are difficult. I'm not going to say they're not, but, like, compared to Gunner and Treasure Hunter, I don't think they really, like, test the limits of the gameplay style as much. Like, again, the other styles, it really well, even the racing style, the game very much just kind of shows where it's rough around the edges in what you have to do for those missions. It's a little less so for these. You don't have to really worry as much about saying, oh wow, this version of the game fucking sucks. Oh, why did I like this before? I hate it so much now that I have to do these stupid missions. Alright, so like I said, the way I did things was arbitrary, and I wanted to save the highway stage for last, because I just like that stage, so I wanted to play more of that stage than I did of Skyrail. So we're playing Skyrail next, so I only needed to do the Ring mission and the Lost Chow mission. Now, Lost Chow missions are definitely tough, but again, since these stages are actually supposed to be platformed through, I don't feel like I'm playing the game at its weakest by doing the Lost Chow mission. So, Shadow's in question for Lost Canyon. Skyrail is over here. So we bounce up and find once again that gun is really adamant about stopping us from reaching Chow. You can't trust the military with anything. They're going to be cruel to animals for no other reason. I don't even know, is it out of spite? Is it out of spite for Shadow? For what reason are they doing this? Alright, so, 2 minutes for Metal Harbor. I could have definitely improved in the stage, but I definitely cut it close. This is a tough one. I love Metal Harbor, but boy is it a difficult stage in general. It's hard to A-rank, and it's absolutely hard to do the missions for. Except Rings. Rings are fine. Rings are easy. But yeah, no, Lost Chow was so-so. I believe it's over there to our left, on top of those crates. That one was mildly annoying to get to, just because of the limitations of the bounce jump, but overall not too bad. 2-minute Metal Harbor is absolutely something you gotta work for, but I didn't mind too much. I had fun learning this one. Again, I kinda wish I did it better, but whatever. I did try to get a roll-off when I was doing the plane segments, but that is absolutely one of the areas where I could have improved. Though, having watched speedruns of SA2, learning how to roll quickly is absolutely the key to speedrunning this game. I don't know how to speed roll. I also completely forgot how to do the shortcut properly and just sort of floundered when I fucked it up. So yeah, like I said, could have done this faster. I do love how the countdown's just like 5, 4, 3. Oh, never mind. Just launch the damn thing. And yeah, no, this wastes time, so much like the straightaway at the end of the racing stages, you'll grow to hate that so much. And there we go. Once again, Sonic almost falls off. He also almost lost, because again, I fucked around a little and completely messed up the shortcut. I forgot at what angle I was supposed to jump at the proper spring from, so I fucked up and fell on the spring that does not help in the slightest. Alright, Radical Highway Hard Mode. I'm gonna level with you. This one's very hard. I had such a good first run, but then I fucked up in a specific spot. However, I'm gonna be honest, I think the time attack version of Radical Highway is tougher than this, because it does not give you a lot of time. Maybe I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but like, no, yeah, you do not get a lot of time for that one. I had like, I don't know, 2 seconds left when I played that. It was, I think, a single digit. So like I said, for Sonic and Shadow, oh god, that could have been done so much better. Was this my second run then? Because I feel like I wouldn't have fucked up that hard on like a third or fourth run. But yeah, no, like, if you want to do these speed stages proper fast, you need to basically just learn how to like stutter roll, I've only watched the speed runs, I haven't actually looked up, like, the terminology for the tech and whatnot, but, like... Yeah, no, if you watch a speed run of a Sonic Adventure 2 speed stage, it's basically just Sonic going hup 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 as he just fucking rolls. It's just a whole lot of spin dash sounds. Oh yeah, and absolutely you have to nail the, twirly sticks, the swingy pipes, on the the speed run. Timer challenge, if you fuck up any of the flippy jumps, you are just screwed. You cannot waste time. You're also gonna wanna not fuck up here. The bridge is absolutely where I fucked up my first run of hard mode, which, again, was going so well. Oh god, what even got me at this point? I don't remember. I think I just got hit by something stupid and fell off the bridge. Oh wait, no, I think it was the, light speed dash there. I think I fucked up the timing on the light speed dash and just fell to my death. Also, I really hate the camera angle change there. That one screwed me over so many times. As I just tried to get on the rail, the angle changed and I missed, because I couldn't quite see it where I was initially. And then it just completely fucked me up afterwards. Okay, now that we're done with the bridge though, the rest of the stage is pretty easy. Hard mode is still harder, but the bridge is absolutely the point where if you're gonna die there. Though I do like the touch that the gold beetle of this stage is actually necessary for platforming, so if you fuck that up, well, too bad. You're guaranteed gold beetle points for the stage, but at what cost? The cost is you gotta think fast, or, again, you die, just immediately. I mean, I guess you could just stand there for the rest of your life, but that doesn't sound very productive. Alright, so... Again, the end of the stage isn't a freebie. They throw even more stuff at you, and they put up barriers. But in comparison to the bridge, and me dying of fucking up a lightspeed dash in midair, that was nothing. Better than I thought.
Easy for me.
Okay, so I absolutely did not get the, complete the game reward on my own. Here's Akba, my final rank for Radical Highway, and here's Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I figured I would prefer having a save file on the version I wasn't actively playing. I didn't want to replace the Steam save I'd been using, because that's my save and I want to use it, so... we're switching to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the GameCube to see Green Hill Zone. I'm gonna level with you, I actually think Sonic Adventure 2 Battle's kinda ugly. I mean, look, the Steam version doesn't look the best, but like, I'm not too sure about this one either. Either way though, yes, Green Hill Zone is your reward for getting 180 emblems and getting all A ranks. Okay, I will say, it's cute. Not my favorite rendition of the Green Hill Zone theme, but it's fine. It's Green Hill Zone, it's hard to fuck that one up, but there have been better renditions, and it looks okay. It looks a little wonky in certain places, but like, I don't think they had all the time in the world to work on this stage. I think most of the work went into, you know, the things you would actually see in the story. So again, I don't think this is worth the effort it takes to find it, because A-ranking every fucking level in this game is madness, and I would never willingly do that myself. And also you have to do Chow stuff too, and I've already said how I feel about that, but you know what? Playing all of this after playing mission mode without having to do it to completion, I enjoyed it well enough. It's not my favorite level in Sonic Adventure 2, but it's a cute little reward. And again, I did not have to do all A ranks myself, somebody else went through that hell. I thank whoever did that save file. And with that, we have reached the end of Sonic Adventure 2. I've showed off just about everything I'm willing to show, so unless I do some Chow Garden streams, I hope you've enjoyed Sonic Adventure 2. And I'll see you next time.
Would like to go to?
Oh god, I need a drink, it's been an hour.